this is Deanna here today, and today I'm going to be sewing up one of my fall sews. So, you know, a couple of weeks ago, I did a little video talking about all the things I wanted to sew for fall, and one of those things was the Forever Flounce, and I have not sewn that pattern in forever, and I thought, forever, haven't sewn the Forever Flounce in forever, and I thought, why have I not sewn this again in so long, because it's a beautiful pattern, and I haven't seen it around much, so I thought, let's sew it up together, and I'm going to show you how easy it is. I mean, it's a little bit of a, you know, like more involved pattern, but it's easy to sew up and it is so cute. We're going to sew it together and I'm super excited about it. Let's get started. All right, I've got all my pieces cut out, and there are a lot of pieces because I am doing the double flounce option. So I've got flounce on one side, flounce on the other. Now, when you're cutting up this pattern, it's really neat because you kind of have to figure out what you're going to make, what kind of flounce you're gonna make. So you got your centerpiece, your front centerpiece. If you're gonna have two, let me show you. Let me set this out and show you what I have, and it'll make sense. All right, so here it all is laid out, and I know it's a one color. I'm not doing different colors, so it's kind of hard to tell, but I've got two pieces for the front. You can't see it, you can tell that this is the front because this is my front side here. So this is gonna be attached to the front side. So you're gonna have mirrored pieces. So this is my front side here. So if you piece it together completely, this is my front, right? I'm gonna put this aside. The only thing is that this is cut out here on you have these cutouts here where the front is cut into different pieces. So if you're gonna have one flounce, you choose what side of the flounce you want, and then this middle piece can have this already attached to it. You can cut it with you don't have to cut here down the center. The only reason you cut down the center here is because I'm gonna have two flounces. So I've got my three pieces for the front because this is where my flounce are gonna go. I've got my flounce, one flounce, and my other flounce right there. And it is cut on the fold because you're gonna sew up half of it on this side, half on the other side, right? So there's my flounce area. Y'all see, I even made a mistake. As I'm looking at my pattern, I'm showing you what I'm supposed to do. I'm like, wait a minute. I cut the full back. Why did I cut the full back? I'm not sure, but you're supposed to cut the side pieces of the back. So this would be the side and this would be my other side. So I'm gonna have to cut right through here and then I'll show you. This is why it's really important to pay attention when you're cutting. Okay, so now I've got my one side, and make sure it's the right side up. Okay, and that's where my flounce is gonna be, the back of my flounce. And then this center piece will get sewn together, right sides together. Right there, that will get sewn right sides together because that's my centerpiece. And this is where my other flounce is gonna go. So I did cut the solid back, which I didn't need to. I don't know why I did that. Anyway, then I've got my cuffs, I've got my binding for my neck, and I've got my sleeves. So we're gonna start by sewing up that back seam first, that back side, right sides together. All right, so my back seam is sewn together. All right, so now we're gonna grab our front center bodice, right sides together with the back bodice at the shoulder seams. We're gonna sew that shoulder seam there. Now, if you only have one flounce, you obviously will have a bigger shoulder seam here, but this one, obviously, two flounces, they're gonna be little tiny shoulder seams there. And then I'm gonna grab the side. So I'm gonna grab the same side, front and back, right sides together, and sew at the shoulder seam on the sides. So we're creating those side seams, that center seam right there. Then do the same on the other one. I'm also gonna go ahead and prep my facing. What I'm gonna do is I'm folding it right sides together and sewing up that short raw edge. All right, so usually people do the binding next, and I'm gonna do part of the binding, but not all of it, because I am using my Baby Lock Accolade, which does serging and cover stitching at the same time. Not at the same time, I mean like it does both of those things. So, but I have to switch what it's doing. So I'm gonna wait and do finish my neckband at the end, because I'm gonna switch to my top stitching portion, to that top stitching on my cover stitch. I'm gonna switch it to the cover stitch. I can't speak today. I'm gonna switch it to the cover stitch option, so I'll do all that at the same time. And I say I can't speak today, but can I ever speak, really? You all know already that yes. Okay, so the binding, the way we're gonna do that is we're gonna place the right side of the binding to the wrong side of the fabric, but we're going to go ahead and mark those quarters on that binding, so that way we got it nice and even. And I am going to go ahead and attach it now, because I'm gonna attach it with my serger. But then when I do the fold over to top stitch, I'm gonna do that with my cover stitch. So I'll do that later. But if you have a separate cover stitch, or if you're top stitching with your sewing machine or whatever, you can do that at the same time. So I'm marking my back, my front, and then my sides, and I'm gonna attach that binding to the wrong side of the bodice. The right side of the binding to the wrong side of the bodice. Okay, so that's gonna get attached. At the same time, I'm gonna go ahead and work on that flounce. So I'm gonna open up my blouse, and this is my centerpiece here. And this is why, you can move that neckline out of the way when you're sewing it. That's why usually we do the neckline first, so that way it's not gonna get caught in there when we're doing the flounce. You don't want the flounce to catch. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab our flounce, and we're gonna find the half of it. And it was already folded in half, and I unfolded it. I don't know why. So it's better if you don't unfold it, that way you already have your half, your exact half. And we go to our half, and we're gonna face it. See how it does like the little circle like this? Okay, so this is the top here, this is the inside. So this is the outside. The bigger area is the outside, so this is the inside here. And so we're gonna grab this center, and the right side, see which one's the right side? This fabric is kind of hard to tell. We're going to attach the right side, that center, to the to the shoulder seam here to the top. And then we're gonna go all the way down, lining up those raw edges. Okay, now if you are a nice sewist, this is where you would go baste this together first. But this is where I am just going for it. So I'm gonna do is sandwich that side together. So what that means is you wanna make sure, so this is the front here, this is the back, right? We're gonna grab the side that's coordinating to that side. So this would be that side, because see how it has that, the armpit area is going that way. You don't, like, if you attach it together, it gives you the armpit area. You don't want it to be the opposite. Like if it's opposite, it doesn't go. So now we're gonna go ahead, and I'm going to sandwich these 3 layers here. So I'm gonna face this right on top, right sides together, to start sandwiching that flounce sandwich here. And I'm gonna add more clips now. Again, if you're not sure, if you're like, ooh, I don't know, you may wanna baste it first and then sew it. Okay, I'm gonna show you when you open it. This will be our flounce, like this. Oh, that back side is not clipped together yet, but this is the front. You can see my flounce here, and this is my other side. Kind of hard to tell, yes, but it will make sense once when you're putting it together. All right, and we're gonna do that on both sides. All right, so I've got my sandwich here, flounce sandwich. So if I am to open it, it should look like this is my front, and here's a flounce here. This is my back, here's a flounce here, here's my back piece, and it all should look nice and even. I like to look at it first before I go sew it up, because if I made a mistake, it's easier to take off the pin, the clips, pins, whatever, than to have to seam rip. So there it is. It's looking really good right there. So I'm gonna go sew it. When I'm sewing this on, I have to be very careful I don't catch my neckband. And I could just actually take it off and do my sides first and then attach the neckband afterwards. I don't know why. You know what? Let me just take it off. That way it's not in my way. And I'll come back to that one later. And then we'll come back and we'll do neckbands, sleeves, cuffs, sides, done. Like, it's gonna be super easy. This is the hardest part, and that one's not even that hard. I like to run my fingers through, like, feeling it. So if I feel like a little bump, I know that there's something not quite right there. All right, before we move on, I like to check and make sure that I cut all my sides and everything and it all looks good. And I did, I already checked that. So you can go ahead and lay out your fabric, and we're gonna start attaching. We can go ahead and attach our sleeve. I have my sleeve. I have my center points here already marked. We wanna make sure that we're attaching right sides together. Which one's my right side? Attach that center point, right sides together, and then go all the way around the two sides, and do that for both. Make sure when you're attaching, you move that ruffle out of the way. All right, time to sew those side seams. And I will go ahead and attach that neckband. So now we're just folding it right sides together. See all those nice little seams there? And we're gonna attach those sides, right sides together, all the way down. Make sure you're careful not to catch the ruffle. I'm gonna go ahead and put that neckband in. I'm gonna also grab my cuffs. We're gonna fold them right sides together and sew that long raw edge there. Alrighty, this is almost completed. I am so excited about it. I cannot wait. Look at how adorable this is looking already. Okay, so I've got my cuff that I need to do here. So I'm gonna fold that cuff wrong sides together, and I'm going to fit it, find my half, and fit it into my sleeve, matching my half. And we're gonna attach it on. Okay, and do the same on the other one. After I attach that on, then it's time for our neckband. And what I'm gonna do for our neck binding, not neckband, we're gonna fold that seam allowance towards the binding. We're gonna fold that binding down once, and then we're gonna fold it again right over that allowance. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna top stitch, and when we top stitch, we'll top stitch that down right over that seam. At the same time that I'm top stitching that, I'm going to go ahead and hem the bottom of my top, and that's it. We are done with this top. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Sew it up. All right, friends, we are finished with this cute sew. I love how this turned out. This top is just adorable. I love this pattern, the flouncy effect. I just think it's Super, super cute. Let me know in the comments what you think. I think the waffle was a great way to go, and the long sleeves are perfect for fall. I'm super excited to be wearing this, and I am excited to finish up some other of my fall sews that I said I was going to work on. I know fall is here. The time is here for me to be sewing, so I need to get to it. Don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any of those videos. Comment, like, share, and let me know what you're going to be sewing, or what are you sewing for fall, or if you've already moved on to winter sews. It doesn't get very cold here. I mean, it gets cold, but not like super cold. So my fall slash winter kind of blend together. But anyway, what are you doing? Let me know, comment below, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.